In the beginning of the movie, a schoolgirl shows her to Lin. Others' income is not much, but he wants to send her to a good school. To get admission in this school, he is telling the headmistress there that Lin is a bright student and he has won many awards in the previous school. Saying this, he is telling her all the details. Then the headmistress says to him that we don't have any problem to get your daughter admitted in our school. Then she asks Lin, are you excited to study in this school? And do you want to study in this school? Lin doesn't answer this question. Then the headmistress asks, why don't you want to study? Do you think this school is bad? Now Lin answers, no, that's not the case. My dad's income is very less and he works very hard to earn. If I study in this school, I will spend 1.5 lakh yuan in a year. Then the headmistress says, no, not 1.5 lakh. The school fee is about 120,000. Then Lin tells him a long calculation of expenses like lunch expenses, petrol expenses, etc. And that too, without using a paper pen. Hearing this, the headmistress is surprised and says to him that you are really a bright student and we want to give you a scholarship and we will not take any fees from you. So now you can study here without any tension. And by doing this, Lin gets admission in that school. She gets a friend in the school whose name is Grace. But Grace is weak in studies and one day she also gets exam questions. Then Lin explains the answers of those questions to her. Then on the day of the exam, it is found that actually a teacher has written those questions in her private tuition. And Grace also used to go to that tuition. But even after explaining those questions to Lin many times, Grace does not understand anything and she does not understand anything. Now, while going to the exam, she is not able to write anything. Seeing that Lin wants to help her. Now, in the exam, A, B, C, D options come and only one option has to be marked. That's why Lin immediately marks all the answers and writes those answers on a razor. Then she puts that razor in her shoe and throws it towards Grace's feet. Now, Grace also sees the answer in that razor and marks it. But now, because Lin does not have her shoe, that's why Grace passes her shoe towards her. But she goes to the shoe walking space and stops. And then before the teacher sees, Lin gets up and submits the answer sheet and comes out. Then Grace comes out of the class and thanks her. And Grace's lover, Pat, also comes and thanks her, and Pat also gives her a payment. Initially, she refuses to take the payment, but then she finds out a truth. She has got a scholarship in this school, but her dad is paying the fees, and Lin does not know about this. As soon as Lin finds out this, she feels very bad because her dad's income is very low. And how will she be able to handle everything? In this way, she accepts Pat's offer and takes the payment. And one day, Pat tells her that I have 5 friends and they need your help in the exam. And they are all ready to pay 3,000 yuan for a subject, and there are 12 subjects in that year. And imagine if she gets 3,000 yuan for a subject, then she will get a total of 100,000 yuan by helping 7 students. And in this way, money keeps increasing in her bank account. Now, to help these 7 students, she uses a new technique, and its name is piano technique. Now, in the name of the piano class, she invites those students to her house, and she uses the piano to explain which is the best option from A, B, C, D with the movement of her fingers. And according to this plan, on the day of the exam, all of them will have to use the movements of Lin's fingers to mark the correct answer. Now, the exam is also passed. Then a new student named Bank joins that same school, and he is also very good in studies. Then his friend tells him that you show me your answer sheet in the exam. I will give you 3,000 yuan for a subject. But for this, the bank refuses and leaves. Now, this student has already given money to Lin, but he does not understand the thunder of the finger movement, and that's why he asks for help from the bank. Now, after the bank's refusal, he has only one option left, and that is that he will have to recognize the answer from Lin's finger movement, and the bank knows all this. Now, during the exam, the teacher says that this year the questions will come in 2 sets. One of you will get the question of set A and one of you will get the question of set B. And all the students are shocked by this. Actually, Lin also gets the question of set B. And she says with a gesture that now she is going to tell the answers of set B. And the students also mark the answers of set B by looking at Lin's finger movements. All the students of that group submit the answer sheet together. Now, there are many students in front of the teacher. So Lin immediately takes the seat of the student sitting next to her because she has got the questions of set A and she gives her answer sheet to her. Now she works out the correct answer of set A question and quickly marks it. And before the time of the exam ends, she tells the answers to everyone. And the students also note it. The student next to her asks her that why didn't you write your name on your answer sheet? Should I write my name on it? Then Lin says no, let it be blank. And the exam also ends and the teacher collects the answer sheets from her. And the teacher sitting outside the exam hall comes and says that you did not put your name and you submitted the answer sheet. Write your name on it. And at the same time, Lin is called by the headmistress. Now Lin gets scared and goes to the headmistress. Then the student next to her also stays there. Now the headmistress asks Lin that have you copied her answers? And Lin also says no. Then even after asking that student, she does not say. Then the bank says no, madam. Actually, she asked for help to show the answers. but I refused. And then the headmistress checks the questions and answer sheets of both of them. Then she sees that both have got different question sets. And she says to the headmistress that the questions are different. And how can you copy this? The bank thinks that you've got the wrong information. And then the headmistress sends them back. But then when the headmistress checks the workout sheet of Lynn, then she sees that she has also worked out the answer of set A. And she again calls Lynn and says that you got the questions of set B. Why did you solve the answer of set A? Tell me, why did you do this? And as soon as she says this, the bank says that she has done all this for money. Then as soon as she finds out about the piano class and the money she has earned from it, the headmistress calls Lynn's dad and complains. And she also says good and bad to him. Not only this, but now she also cancels Lynn's scholarship. And she says that now only the bank is going to send the scholarship exam from this school, and you have lost that opportunity. Lynn cries and goes home saddened by all this, and her dad scolds her a lot at home and asks her to return all the money she has earned, and she throws away the clothes she had bought. Then they show that someone was investigating the student who was copying from Lynn, and those students are answering him. This means that someone has copied it in a big exam and got trapped. And now the story continues. Here, Grace has come to meet Pat's parents, and there everyone has dinner together. And Pat's parents say to Grace that we are sending Pat to a foreign country to study in a private college, and there she can also get a scholarship. Pat has started studying very well by staying with you. He also gets good scores. So it would be good if you also go to that college and study with him. We will sponsor all your expenses. You just stay with him and get him passed in that entrance exam. We will take care of the rest. And in the future, we will also get you married. Then Grace goes and asks Lynn for help to pass that entrance exam. And it is not at all possible to cheat in that big entrance exam. That's why Lynn first refuses him. But after some time, she agrees, because she has thought of a very good way. And that is that all the students of all the countries of the world will write this entrance exam at the same time. But all the countries of the world are in different time zones. And according to the time zone, this exam will be started first in Sydney, Australia, and the exam will start in Sydney 4 hours before starting in Thailand. So Lynn tells him that I will go to Sydney and give the exam, and from there I will memorize those answers and type them in the phone and send them to you. But the students cannot memorize those answers. That's why she makes another idea for him. And she makes a plan to tell the answers through a pencil barcode. That is, the barcode in the pencil will have the thickest line for set A option. The line of B will be less than A, and the line of C will be of even less thickness, and the slim line of D will be the thinnest. She says that by preparing such barcode pencils, you will be able to easily mark the correct answers in that exam. Then she says that for this, you can add as many clients as possible. From the total payment you will get from this, you both will also get a share. But the problem with this is that all the answers will have to be marked first, then they will have to be mugged up and typed in the phone and sent. And that exam time will not be enough for all of them. That's why I need another genius to mug up these answers. And only the bank can do this. I will memorize half the answers of the exam, and the bank will mug up the rest of the answers and send them to you. And we will also give him some part of the money. But for this, if the bank agrees, then only the plan can be executed. Otherwise, this plan will have to be cancelled. This is how she casually says. The next day, the date of the bank scholarship exam comes, and then a group comes and kills him and dumps him in a garbage area. And because of this, he loses the opportunity to give the scholarship exam. Actually, by doing the work of the bank's money laundry, she is teaching the bank with great effort. And the bank wants to study well for his mother and move forward. But he misses his chances. And thinking about this, he is very sad. At that time, Lynn comes to meet the bank and says, sorry, you could not give that entrance exam, but don't lose hope. Now you can earn good money, and then you can continue your studies by going to a private college. And if you're interested, then come to this address. And he also reaches that address, and after reaching there, Lynn tells him everything from A to Z. Then the bank asks about his share, and Lynn tells him that you will get 10 lakh yuan. Then he asks Lynn, how much is your share? Lynn says that my share is 20 lakhs. And as soon as he hears this, the bank is shocked. Now he practically starts planning everything, that is, how to talk, how to write the exam, and such things are also planned and prepared in advance. And not only that, in fact, if you are caught cheating in the exam, then what will they have to answer? And how to act. He rehearses all these things. Now, he keeps practicing what to do when he is caught many times. If Lynn is caught, then what will he have to answer? He also practices. Then Lynn asks Pat that if the bank is caught, what will you answer? Then Pat acts and says that no, actually, mine and his do not work. That's why he is lying. And in this way, he says wrong things about the bank. Then, in the same flow, he says that someone killed the bank and threw it in the garbage. Now, hearing this, the bank comes in anger and comes to fight Pat. Because in fact, Pat did not send the goons to kill the bank. And this was recognized by the bank because the bank has told everyone that someone had killed him. And that's why he could not give the exam. But he did not tell anyone about the garbage, that he had thrown it in the garbage. And as soon as he understands all this, the bank gets very angry. Then Lynn says that I do not know anything about this, but the bank does not believe him, and he leaves from there. Then he himself comes to meet Lynn and says that whatever happened, happened. I need money now, but we have to cheat. Still, both study well and go to Sydney City, Australia. Now, there are 4 sections in that exam, and the first section will have to be completed in 45 minutes. In that 45 minutes, both of them mark all the correct answers and mug up. Then after that, the 10-minute break is given. In that break, both of them go to the bathroom and they wrap their phones in a plastic cover and put it in the flush tank of the bathroom. Now, as soon as they go to the bathroom, Lynn takes out that phone and types all the answers and sends it. But the bank does not send the answers. In fact, he messages in that WhatsApp group that I'll have to give you an extra 10 lakh yuan and then I will send you the answer. And in such a situation, when he gives such a threat, then all the students get tensed. And not only that, he immediately tells them to send money. And then a student messages that I have only 4 lakh yuan now and I send you that money. You please send the answer. Then he types the answer when he gets the money and sends it. And here, from reading these 2 pencils to making a label of answers on them and sticking it and sending those pencils to the student who is going to give the exam. They finish all this work quickly. And not only that, to send those students to the exam hall, they also keep the bike drivers. Now, in this way, all the students stay here with full preparation. Now, in Sydney, by sending the answers of these 2 sections, they come back and write the exam of the next section. Then again, in the break of that exam, they go to the bathroom and type the answers and send it. But at this time, the bank gets stuck. He is in the bathroom for a long time. The supervisor complains to the higher staff and the exam counselor comes there. Then he knocks on the door and tells him that if you don't open the door now, then I will break the door and come inside. And in such a stressful situation, he sends all the answers and quickly deletes all the history of the mobile phone. Then as soon as he opens the lid of the flush tank, he falls down and breaks it. And a piece of it goes out and falls near the counselor. And he starts doubting this. Now he tries to flush the phone by putting it in the toilet, but it doesn't flush properly. Till now, the counselor breaks the door and comes inside and catches the bank while cheating. Here, Lynn also sends all the answers. But there is no time to keep that phone back, because even outside his bathroom, a supervisor is telling him to come out. That's why he quickly puts the phone in his shoe and comes out. Now she thinks that before going to the exam hall, there will be checking. So if checking is done, she will be caught. That's why she hides the phone in a gap of the drinking water machine. And after drinking water, she goes to the exam hall and sits there. Wow, what a mind. Now the last section of this exam, that is the answers of section 4, have to be written. Now, Lynn is also scared of being caught by the bank, and she is not able to concentrate at all during this section, and she is not able to memorize most of the answers. Then she remembers the piano class, and she memorizes the answers like a song. Then she puts her pencil in her mouth and deliberately vomits on the answer sheet, and says that I am not feeling well, I have to go from here. And while saying this, she comes out of the hall, and at the same time, Lynn's dad reaches the factory and asks him, where is my daughter? Are you cheating again? He starts asking a lot of questions like this, and then the messages of answers start coming on his phone. Now, Lynn's dad does not read the message about that phone. That's why they both tell a lie. They say that Lynn and the bank are lovers, and they have planned a trip to Australia. And after hearing this, Lynn's dad gets shocked, and then they leave from there. Now Lynn somehow runs away with her phone, and then she sees the counselor in front of her. Then she hides in a room, and then she runs out of the exam centre, and while walking, she is typing the answers on the phone. Then she comes to the railway station and types the answers, and in this way she types all the answers and sends them, and then she sees in front of her that there is an exit board. Now the counsellor is also following her from behind. Then she again makes a great plan. She takes out some coins from a nearby food machine and puts them in her mouth at the same time. And then she puts the mobile phone in the bag of a lady sitting next to her. Then the counsellor comes to her and vomits in front of her, and she tells him that I'm not feeling well. That's why I ran away from there quickly, because I have to go home quickly. So now the reason for her running away is also valid, and she does not have a mobile phone. This means that no one can doubt her, but she cannot pass the exam by vomiting because her answer sheet is spoilt. Then here, they prepare the pencils and make a label of the answers and stick it in it. Then the students reach the exam hall and all the students complete the exam. Then Lynn comes alone to the airport and tells them about the spoiling of her answer sheet and about going to the bank. And she says that the bank has taken all the blame itself and she's not taken anyone's name from us. That's why you are safe. But the bank has now been blacklisted and he will never be able to give such an intense exam in the future. And she gets very sad by saying this. Then her dad stands in front of her and asks her, "Why did you do this?" And Lynn does not understand what to say to him. Then Dad asks why you did not tell me that you and the bank love each other and you both went to Australia. Okay, now you take the bank with you and we will have dinner and discuss later. Then why did I lie to such a good dad? Thinking this, she hugs him and cries loudly. Now she tells him everything, and all the students who give the exam with her help get 460 marks because everyone has written the same answers. Now Lynn tells everything to her dad and also refuses to take her share of money. Her friends tell her that at least you take your money because the bank has also taken $2 million of her share. On this, Lynn refuses and says that I don't want that money. Then her cheating talks reach her school and Lynn and the bank are expelled from that school. Then Lynn applies for a job of a school teacher, and that is a medium salary job. Thinking that money is not enough, she does a teaching job. Then one day the bank message Lynn to meet her, and she also goes there and sees that the bank has bought many washing machines to make. And the bank comes to her and says that we have only given one exam, and there are also exams called GAT and PAT-E, and many students write these exams, and if we help these students, then we can earn lakhs of yuan. Now the bank, which used to be a good student, is now 100% ruined. But Lynn tells her that I have made many mistakes, and I don't want to repeat those mistakes again. Now I can't do this, and you leave me. Now on saying this, the bank blackmails her and says that if you don't help me cheat, then I will tell everyone that you cheated in that endless exam with me. And Lynn tells her to do whatever she wants. Then the bank blackmails her again and says that if you don't help me, then I will tell the names of all those students whom you have cheated and made them pass. And this way their life will also get ruined. In this way, the bank talks in the tone of a villain, and on this, Lynn tells him to do whatever he wants, and on saying this, she leaves. But Lynn stands outside after hearing this blackmailing and starts thinking something. Now, friends, remember this scene because I'm going to tell you the climax of this movie after this scene. And after that, the climax of this movie can also be like this. I have made my climax thinking this. And out of both the climaxes, did you like my climax or the director's climax? You must give in your direct comment section. Now let's see the climax of the director. While ignoring Lynn's blackmailing, she tells him to do whatever he wants, and she goes home and shares everything with her dad. And here the bank all sends everyone's poll. But Lynn's dad tells her that you don't worry. Whatever will happen will be seen. I'm always with you. And on saying this, he encourages her. And then in the next investigation, her dad also goes with her and helps her. And after this investigation, this movie ends here. Now I tell you the climax of my thinking. The climax is that when the bank blackmails her for the second time, then Lynn thinks that she has made a lot of mistakes so far. So I make one more mistake for the last time. Then she says yes to him, fearing the bank's blackmail. And she goes and tells her dad all this and says that the bank is blackmailing me like this. So I don't have any other option. I have to save my friends and my life has already been spoiled. But this should not happen with my friends. And this time I don't want to do anything by lying to you. So I'm telling you everything truthfully. Now, listening to this, her dad says, okay, son, this time we will make this mistake for the last time to save your friends. Now, saying this, her dad also gets involved in her plan, and her dad has been teaching for many years, and that's why he has a lot of experience. And her dad also makes teaching plans with her. And with this, friends, this movie ends here. So, friends, how did you like my climax? In fact, this climax can also be used to make the next part of this movie. You guys definitely comment and tell which climax you liked the most. See you next day with another video. Till then, goodbye, and finally, thanks for watching.